Hey everyone, it's been quite a while since I've done a video from this actual location, so I figured I would do that. So I spent the last few hours with my daughter Sienna, and we were both playing around with a drone. And a drone is a flying machine device, propellers on it, and a remote control that helps you control it. And I found it for around $39 on Amazon and decided, yeah, I want to try something new and see how it goes. It was really cool. So took it out, spent about 15-20 minutes reading through instructions and getting it set up. And then the first attempt at flying it. So let me talk to you a little bit about that and why after a few hours after it's been a few hours to the beginning, the interesting correlation I think to our life journeys and the things we're trying to accomplish. So the first test flight of the drone is you have this left joystick thing that you press up and down, and that makes the drone go up and down. Pretty straightforward, right? Well, the thing with that is you can know that up and down movement makes the drone go up and down, but you don't know how much pressure to put on it, doing it at the right level, because if you go left and right, the drone rotates. These are things I didn't know really at the start. So I kind of just slowly inched it up, and the drone went whoosh, and it hopped. And that was my first flight of my drone. It got about an inch off the ground and just landed again. And after 50 or so more attempts of experimentation of flying the drone up and down, I started to be able to get the drone up to the ceiling of my condo here, and then it would crash and land. But it's made to be durable enough that if it crashes, it's not going to just break and not work anymore. It's a durable drone. And then after another few hundred attempts, I now have a feel for the right level of pressure to move the drone up and down. And then there's this other joystick on the remote control that controls the drone that lets you move it side to side and back and forth. And now I'm starting, and when I say starting, I really mean just starting to get a feel for what it takes to maneuver the drone around. And this took a couple hours of continuous refining and process. And there's 8 pages of a manual that explained how to use the drone. By reading those pages alone, that was not enough. That was not enough for me to know how to fly that drone and be successful at it. I had to grab the remote and experience the drone in action, and that's really what it took. And there's a correlation here with all of us in our lives and the journeys we're on, that we're all trying to accomplish different things. I know for me, I like to read and watch videos to try and have that be the answer to the things I'm trying to accomplish or solve. And a lot of times that actually, I've noticed, should be about 20% of my time. 80% should be the actual attempts and application of the knowledge that I'm gaining. And I actually do the reverse. I spend 80% of my time reading and watching videos and 20% in the application, because the application and effort of something is hard. It takes exertion and energy, and it takes not knowing, and it takes failing, and some frustration that happens. And that's what I think is the separation from people who are doing really well, is they're spending most of their time in the application, and they're still learning. They're still gaining knowledge and information, but they're spending most of their time in the arena of life, if you will, taking action and making attempts. And this little exercise with the drone today has been a good example of that. And I'll have to show you all sometime this little drone I got. It's about this big, and it says ages 14 and up, but I let my 7-year-old Sienna play with that anyways with my supervision, and she's getting better at it. She's getting decent. And so I just wanted to do this video and say that progress comes from making attempts, putting in the effort on the things that you're learning about, like making the effort and failing at first and being uncomfortable, not knowing how things are going to work out. And then you just kind of have to trust this magnificent brain of yours and consciously put forth effort again and again. Fail, do it. Like with this drone, probably 300 failed flights and probably 1,000 more failed flights to go before I can fly this sucker around like really well. 1,000 failures? Yeah. I've noticed this pattern with other things in my life. There's just, it's a numbers. You just got to put in the reps, the numbers, the attempts to really get what you want. And that is the separation from greatness to struggling. And I just find it fascinating that as you make attempts at things in life, if you spend a few hours, whatever it is, learning to draw, flying a drone, just going out into the field of life and making attempts, little insights like this, for me they come to my mind. And I've noticed this at work. I've noticed it with the people I know in life, becoming a better communicator. Basketball, I love the game of basketball. I love to shoot 3-pointers. It took the same kind of deal. I had to just put in a lot of repetition to get to where I'm at now with it. And there's other things. And we're all on this journey of life, and effort. Time and effort really are the qualifiers, the great qualifiers of life. So put in the time and effort and make an attempt, not knowing. I'm going to go play around with some software called Unity in just a moment. I don't know much about it, so I'm going to kind of fumble and stumble and probably spend a few hours, and I'll gain this much knowledge. And then day after day, this knowledge will slowly increase to the point where after thousands of hours, you're now a wizard with that thing that you were completely new to. You become a wizard to it. And that's the gift that we have as humans, is we have these brains and the ability to go from ignorance, lack of skill, to being an expert, a master at something that we had no real prior knowledge of. And everything that we've learned in our life applies to the next learning. So I'm learning to fly this drone, but everything I know about aviation, physics, people that have talked about drones, and learning to read and understanding the weight, like how heavy something is, and all these things applied to my attempts. I'm sure they helped me not need 10,000 attempts and instead probably only need 1,000 to 2,000 attempts of flight. So anyways, progress comes from the effort and taking the time. And that's Sneaker my cat. So share something that you're going to make an attempt in, and put some time and effort in, and you'll be amazed at the reward that comes from time and effort. There's a great reward for it. All right, namaste everyone. We'll see you in the next video.